I'd say, wow, this was a playoff thriller. This is a game that is a classic for sure, a game that will be played, or should I say replayed for years to come on NBA TV, just when it comes to classic games. Even if neither of these teams go on to win a title this year, this was a classic game. That's what I'd say. It was very, very thrilling to watch. Just definitely worth it to see the whole entire game from start to finish. For those of you who didn't watch the whole entire game and just saw the one highlight of Jamal Murray hitting that game winner, you missed an awesome game. This was what they used to say during the 90s. NBA's fantastic. Showing my age here, but yeah, this was competitive. I have to say the Lakers' strategy from the start on the offensive end was interesting in the sense that LeBron didn't have many points to start off the game. I think he might have had maybe 7 or 8 points at halftime. I don't remember precisely, but it was Anthony Davis and D'Angelo Russell really just starting off the game hot. Both of them were just on fire, just hitting everything they tossed up. I think D'Angelo hit his first 4 or 5 threes in a row. He ended up shooting 7-11 for a three. And Anthony Davis for those first 3 quarters was just playing on God mode. Just he was on fire. I think he made 14 of his first 15 shots. Just that's just insane. That's absurd. When a guy shoots that well, I think 99% of the time his team wins. It's rare. So that definitely has to hurt the Lakers. That great game was pretty much wasted by Anthony Davis to shoot that well, to shoot above 70% from the field. As great of a player as Anthony Davis is, it's hard to replicate those games. They don't come often. D'Angelo Russell also had a great game today, but he's a very streaky player, so you don't know if he's going to put up those numbers again. LeBron also, for those first 3 quarters, really took a back seat to those guys and then tried to assert his will in the fourth quarter. He was hitting a lot of clutch shots, so I give him that credit. Just he was trying to will his team to victory, but he fell short of that towards the end. But I think the biggest play that I felt towards the end was when it looked like LeBron got offensive foul on KCP and they didn't call it, so he shot a wide open three. He misses it, and after that, at least in the Murray's game-winning shot. So I don't know how much time was left on the shot clock when that charge happened, to be honest. I definitely have to rewatch it, but I'm sure LeBron will be questioning that shot tonight, wondering if he could have just taken a better shot, especially when KCP fell. He could have driven to the hole or whatnot. If he just watches that replay, he's probably replaying in his mind hundreds of times that scenario. That's usually what competitive people do when they lose. Another thing I had to say, Jokic was the only Nugget that was playing great really from start to finish. Just he was spectacular like always. 27 points, 20 rebounds, 10 assists, 2 steals. Just he was doing it all, and Porter was pretty good, but I felt Porter was kind of quiet at the start, but then just caught fire later as the game progressed. So he had a great game of 22 points, 8 of 13. The guy I like to mention is Jamal Murray. Just you had to give Jamal Murray credit, I would say, because he shot really bad in this game. Throughout the whole entire game, he was absolute crap. His three-point shot was not falling. He was 0 for 5 from 3. Nothing he shot would come in. Just he was missing all those threes. And then in the fourth quarter, he was still struggling, and he made that decision, I think, with 5 or 6 minutes left in the game to just go for some mid-range shots and some layups, which is what I always say about these guys, that when your three-point shot is not falling, you need to get easy buckets. You need to do the mid-range shots, take it to the hole, get a layup, but you can't just rely on your three-point shot just saving you. If it's off, it's off. You gotta improvise. That's what Jamal Murray did. You got to give him credit on that. I've seen too many guys that if they're shooting poorly, they'll continue to shoot threes instead of trying to get themselves an easy basket. You think it's simple, but a lot of guys don't do it. And Jamal Murray showed tonight why the mid-range game is still very important. He hit a few mid-range shots in clutch situations in the fourth quarter, and his final shot was a mid-range fadeaway shot on Anthony Davis. So give him credit for switching up his game when his three-point shot wasn't falling and hitting these clutch shots. That takes a lot of mental fortitude in these types of situations. A lot of guys melt when their shot is not falling and these check out, and that's really what separates, I would say, the great players from just good players during the regular season. That they can still find ways to come up big even when they're not playing well. Just that really sets them apart. So credit to Jamal Murray for coming through big time. Just he was huge in the final few minutes of that game. The other guy people won't talk about much, I would say that should get some credit for this win, is KCP. That man, defensive intensity really helped rally the Nuggets to get back in that game. I felt it won't show up in the box scores when you look at his shooting, but he was everywhere tonight, just hustling like crazy, just having some key defensive plays. Just he was giving his all. So credit to him. Also credit to Aaron Gordon for getting that hustle rebound towards the end when the ball was falling out of bounds. That allowed, I think, yeah, it was Michael Porter Jr. to catch the ball and hit a desperate three to tie the game. That three was huge. I don't think the Nuggets win that game if he doesn't hit the three, because I believe when he hit the three, it tied the game with, like, I think a minute left. So that was huge. That was huge. It goes to show you a lot of these plays matter in the playoffs, and you don't remember all of them if you're not a hardcore fan of the game, but these little plays are the difference between winning and losing a ball game, especially in a close game like that. Outside of these observations, I don't have much else really to say about this game, but this was a gut punch for the Lakers. You definitely have to feel like shit if you're the Lakers, because you had the Nuggets on the ropes. You were up by 20 points. You couldn't finish them off. They got the win again. I'm sure the Nuggets are in their head mentally, for sure. Just like, I don't know, like, how do you get yourself ready for the next two games in LA? Granted, I still think the Lakers could win one of those two games, but I don't see them winning both of them. So that'll be interesting. You already hear Darvin Ham playing the ref card, which is always a sign of desperation, I feel. He's screaming the refs screwed over the Lakers, all the other stuff. But from what I saw, they got some non-calls to go in their favor. Heck, some of the calls were phantom fouls that they got away with. Just so I felt it evened out towards the end, especially when LeBron, I think that was an offensive foul. Maybe I'm wrong, but from what I saw at the end, he did that offensive charge on KCP and they didn't call it. That could have been a big no call had LeBron hit that three at the end. So he can't really complain. His team had their chances to win. The refs definitely didn't cost them that game. So that's all I had to say about this.